Fever beat the Sparks by the skin of their teeth, and everything about this game was nuts.
One common theme in the WNBA is how poorly officiated these games can be.
The craziest endings to a game we have seen in terms of the referee situation. And Caitlin Clark was not happy at all.
Caitlin Clark, the GOAT. Y'all saw Caitlin Clark crash out on the bald head ref. She had every right to.
Everybody was looking like how Caitlin Clark was looking. Everybody was looking just like this, man. What in the world was going on? CC said he gave them every chance to win.
Caitlin Clark just exploded on the refs.
Caitlin Clark spazzed on the referee.
And fans are demanding a WNBA investigation. If you're 100% with Caitlin, drop 100% in the comments right now.
Every game is a home game. I have never seen people cheer for a player that's not suiting up to play.
The ending of the Fever versus Sparks game turned into absolute chaos.
The Fever beat the Sparks by the skin of their teeth, and everything about this game was nuts.
And Caitlin Clark wasn't about to stay silent. After a series of blown calls and bizarre time resets that gave Los Angeles every chance to steal the win.
Now, just because Caitlin Clark's not playing doesn't mean she's not paying close attention to some of these referees when she's on the bench. Let's take a look at Caitlin Clark crashing out at a WNBA referee. What's new? What's new? What's new? Oh, there's Leah. You gave them every chance to win.
Clark completely lost her composure. She stormed toward the referees, shouting, "You gave them every chance to win!" Her frustration was so real that Aaliyah Boston had to physically hold her back.
She literally lost it at a referee. Like, she had to be restrained from going at a referee, which is crazy. Like, she went after the referee and Leah Boston to pull her back.
Refs really tried to give LA the game. Dang. She was going to chase down that ball ref at the end of the game, but someone stopped it. It was Aaliyah Boston. Why they don't tee her up or call security when she's out, all out on the floor? Oh, Lord. Here we go with that. They was trying their hardest to help the Sparks get this one. Good dub, Fever. Come on, man. Like CC said, he gave them every chance to win.
From going any further.
From this view, you can see Caitlin Clark walking out there, and then there's Aaliyah Boston quickly to say, "Oh, you're not get back here. Game's over."
Think about that for a moment. Caitlin Clark, usually calm and collected, was pushed past her breaking point. And who can blame her? Time and time again, the Fever are hit with inconsistent whistles, technical fouls for minor reactions, and late-game chaos that always seems to favor the opponent. What makes this even more telling is the double standard. When players like Skylar Diggins or Angel Reese confront referees, it's called passion. But when Caitlin Clark does it, critics rush to label her a problem.
People remember from this game, Caitlin Clark having to be restrained by her teammate for the refs. And what happens then in that scenario is that, like, let's be honest, the same people that will celebrate Skylar Diggins when she goes after a ref or goes after somebody, or when Angel Reese goes after a celebrator, will be writing think pieces about Caitlin Clark.
In reality, Clark's fire shows leadership. She's standing up not just for herself, but for her team. Fans in the arena saw it, and the footage of her confrontation spread instantly online.
We all were like, what in the world is going on? Look at the bench and Bibby. They really tried to steal the match from the Fever. It was the bonkers. These refs. Yeah, I was there. It was stupid as F. Caitlin lucky she didn't get a technical. White should have never called timeout with 1.9 seconds left.
It wasn't a meltdown. It was a demand for fairness. Caitlin's explosion wasn't just about one bad call. It was the boiling point of weeks of questionable officiating that has plagued the Fever all season. And in that moment, she became the voice of every player and fan who's been asking the same question. When will the WNBA finally fix this officiating mess?
The way that Caitlin Clark responded, this was her response when they actually called the reset timeout. She couldn't believe it. Nobody could believe it. So they do inbound the ball, and then Rakia Jackson gets it, passes it over to Kelsey, who kind of loses it. AB grabs it and saves the game.
The Indiana Fever didn't just survive Lexi Hull's injury scare. They survived a nail-biter against the Los Angeles Sparks. This game wasn't pretty. In fact, at times it was downright sloppy, but it had the intensity of a playoff matchup. The Sparks came out strong, leading most of the way.
Take a look at the clock right here. Take a look at the clock. 0.4 seconds left on the game clock. We're shooting a free throw. Let's see how long it takes for this free throw, for this timeout to be called after this free throw. 0.4 seconds. Now, if you notice on your screen, there's a green arrow by the basket. That green arrow is pointing towards a buzzer, and that would be the game clock buzzer. And as this unfolds, you see Dearica Hamby grab a rebound, clock starts rolling, 0.4 seconds runs off. And the buzzer is now sounding. There's 0.4 seconds still on the clock. The buzzer has officially sound. Kelsey Plum hasn't even put her fingers together to call a timeout. Yet Egon Abazi, though the buzzer already sounded, is going to, again, I know this guy's first name, is going to grant them with the timeout.
How many freaking chances are you going to let them to give LA the game? And I think that's what everybody saw in that game. Like, it didn't really matter what was going on. We all knew what was happening. We all knew what was happening there. And the game was being given. The game was absolutely being given to the Sparks. They were giving the Sparks every single chance possible to go and win that game.
But when it mattered most, the Fever refused to break. Odyssey Sims turned into the hero down the stretch, hitting a clutch three.
Super odd ending where the referee allowed 2 fouls, 1 reset timeout with only 1.9 seconds left on the clock. Agun Agazi, because it sure seemed like he did not want to let the Fever take away this win, making the last 1.9 seconds last almost 5 minutes.
And then sinking her signature floater in
The refereeing in this league is embarrassing. It is embarrassing. Like, they literally, there was like one point, though, the two of the referees literally looked in shock at the other referee yesterday. The game ended. The game was over. And they were just staring at the other referee like, why did you just blow your whistle? And there was like 1.6 seconds to go. Whatever happened, they tried to foul Lexi Hull, and I'm pretty sure they just missed entirely. I don't think they fouled her. They missed entirely. But there was like a dribble and time taken. They took like a 0.4 seconds off the clock. And they, for some reason, had a 0.1 seconds. It was twice. Twice the referee made absolute bullshit, complete bullshit calls. Complete bullshit calls just to try keep the Sparks in the game.
the final minute that gave Indiana the 1-point edge. Aaliyah Boston once again proved why she's one of the league's most dominant young stars, finishing with a 22.
Agun Abazi. Agun Abazi, man. This man is diabolical work to the WNBA. He's betting. Somebody get the shame bell. Ding, ding, shame.
Point double-double, anchoring the paint and giving the Fever life when they needed it most. And even Lexi Hull, battered with 2 black eyes, still found a way to knock down a crucial shot.
One common theme in the WNBA is how poorly officiated these games can be. The officials in the WNBA, yes, they're incompetent, yes, they're trash, but it always seems like there's some shady. They're so bad and so incompetent, it seems like there's shady business taking place behind the scenes.
Everyone that toughness translates to impact.
Nonsense was being called, and cheating was being speculated, right? Everybody was looking like how Caitlin Clark was looking by the end of that game last night with the Indiana Fever and the Los Angeles Spark. Everybody was looking just like this, man. What in the world was going on?
The final score told the story, 76-75. The Sparks had 22.
The officiating was awful last night. I don't know what was going on in that Los Angeles Sparks Indiana Fever game, but the officiating was flat out trash. The LA Sparks got every single call imaginable, and it was just noticeable, to the point you got Caitlin Clark running on the floor, ready to crash out on a ref in the middle of the game, to the point where it's obvious. It's obvious. It's like the fix was in.
You telling me Hamby got this rebound in time in 0.4 and got the timeout? She got the rebound, came down with it, got covered up, and 0.4 wasn't off the shot clock. That's what you're telling me. Let's take a look at this. All right, I skipped it a little bit. My bad. So look at this right here. Boom. All right, ball goes off the rim. Kelsey Mitchell misses the second one. Right? Boom, there it is. She gets the rebound.
Turnovers, and the Fever capitalized just enough to snatch the win. That victory wasn't just about staying alive in the standings. It all but cemented the Fever's place in the postseason. For a team that's faced adversity all season long, from injuries to critics, this win symbolized resilience. And the timing couldn't be more perfect, with Caitlin Clark inching closer to her return. With a technical foul after showing frustration, something completely out of character. The entire sequence left both fans and analysts outraged. Many called it one of the most disgraceful ends.
They put 0.1 on the shot. 0.1 on the shot clock, fam. What are we doing? What are we doing, man? I mean, this is nonsense. How do you even have time to do anything?
To a WNBA game this season. And at the center of it all was Caitlin Clark, who wasn't willing to accept what she saw as a manipulated finish. She exploded because the game wasn't being decided by players. It was being decided by the referees.
The WNBA needs to do something about this. Kathy Engelberg, you need to get a hold of what's going on here.
While Lexi Hull's toughness made headlines, the biggest story in the WNBA is still Caitlin Clark's return. Fever fans have been holding their breath since her injury, and now the signs are impossible to ignore. Caitlin has taken part in 3 straight shoot-arounds, putting up shots with the team, moving smoothly, and showing that the fire is still there. In Los Angeles before the Sparks game, Caitlin stepped on the court for warm-ups, and the crowd erupted. The entire arena lit up with cheers, proving once again that no matter where she goes, she's the face of women's basketball. Even in an opposing city, the ovation she received was louder than what most players get at home.
The Fever beat the Sparks by the skin of their teeth, and everything about this game was nuts.
Nonsense was being called, and cheating was being speculated, right? Everybody was looking like how Caitlin Clark was looking by the end of that game last night with the Indiana Fever and the Los Angeles Sparks. Everybody was looking just like this, man. What in the world was going on?
Take a look at the clock right here. Take a look at the clock. 0.4 seconds left on the game clock. We're shooting a free throw. Let's see how long it takes for this free throw, for this timeout to be called after this free throw. 0.4 seconds. Now, if you notice on your screen, there's a green arrow by the basket. That green arrow is pointing towards a buzzer, and that would be the game clock buzzer. And as this unfolds, you see Dearica Hamby grab a rebound, clock starts rolling, 0.4 seconds runs off, and the buzzer is now sounding. There's 0.4 seconds still on the clock. The buzzer has officially sounded. Kelsey Plum hasn't even put her fingers together to call a timeout. Yet Egon Abazi, though the buzzer already sounded, is going to, again, I know this guy's first name, is going to grant them with the timeout.
That's the Caitlin Clark effect. She doesn't just draw fans, she transforms the atmosphere. And here's what makes this moment so powerful. Because the Fever pulled off that win over the Sparks, they no longer have to rush Caitlin back early just to keep playoff hopes alive. They've essentially locked in their postseason spot, meaning Caitlin has the luxury to heal fully, prepare, and come back at the right time. Instead of desperation, the Fever can now look forward with confidence. Think about it. Indiana has clawed its way into playoff position without their best player on the...
Security is a little bit more tight around Caitlin Clark in this video. Usually she's out there perusing with the fans and there's one guy following her. They seem pretty close to making sure that nobody is within arm's reach of Caitlin Clark. There's arm's reach, the item, and then Caitlin Clark. That's pretty legit right there. And here we go. We keep going. Keeping distance. Okay. Now we're getting a little bit more close and personal. But getting fouled around by more than 2 bodyguards.
Court. Aaliyah Boston has carried the load inside. Odyssey Sim.
Crypto.com arena. Caitlin Clark walking into the belly of the beast. And no surprise, every game is a home game. Except for the Valkyrie. Except for the Liberty. Though there are tons of Fever fans. Liberty home crowd, they show out. Other than that, every game is a home game. I have never seen people cheer for a player that's not suiting up to play.
Has hit clutch shots, and Lexi Hull has fought through injuries. Now imagine adding Caitlin Clark back into that mix. Her shooting range, her floor vision, and her ability to shift an entire defense will give the Fever something they've been missing, the superstar who changes everything. Fans know what's coming. The playoffs begin in mid-September, giving Caitlin enough time to ramp up. Whether she plays 1 or 2 games before the postseason or makes her return right when the lights are brightest, her impact will be immediate. The WNBA has already seen what
Every time the Fever played the Connecticut Sun, there's been an injury. Like, the Fever have played Connecticut Sun 4 times. First time, Sid Colson got her knee jumped through by JC Sheldon and Sophie Cunningham hurt her ankle. Second time, they played pinball with Caitlin Clark and Sophie Cunningham started a brawl. Third time, Caitlin Clark gets injured. Albeit, Caitlin Clark got injured because she got injured. I'm not going to blame the referees. I'm not going to blame the Sun necessarily for that one. Although, Caitlin Clark's brother blamed the referees for it.
happens when Caitlin is on the floor. Ratings rise, arenas sell out, and every possession feels like a moment. Now, with the Fever officially alive in the playoff chase, the stage is being set for one of the most dramatic comebacks the league has ever seen. Caitlin Clark's return doesn't just give Indiana hope, it shakes the entire...
I hope the refereeing gets better next season, because it's not getting better this season. And we've seen it, like, how many players have taken elbows to the face, how many players have gotten injured from dirty plays, and the referees, like, just allow it to happen.
WNBA? Opposing teams know the Fever at full strength are dangerous, and fans are ready to see Caitlin seize the moment. From Iowa to Indiana, her journey has always been about proving doubters wrong. And now, the biggest test of her young career is right around the corner. Referees and raise the standard of officiating to match the talent of the athletes on the floor. For Caitlin Clark, this was more than a heated moment. It was leadership. By confronting the refs head-on, she gave a voice to every frustrated teammate, every silenced player, and every outraged fan. And now, the league is under more pressure than ever to respond.
TC said he gave them every chance to win.
One common theme in the WNBA is how poorly officiated these games can be.
The craziest endings to a game we have seen in terms of the referee situation. And Caitlin Clark was not happy at all.
Caitlin Clark, the GOAT. Y'all saw Caitlin Clark crash out on the bald head ref last night. Please tell me y'all saw this. And she had every right to.
Caitlin Clark's explosion wasn't just about one bad call. It was about demanding fairness in the WNBA. Fans are united, calling for an investigation into the refs. And this moment proves Caitlin is willing to fight for her team no matter what. What do you think? Should the league step in and clean up this mess?
Learn how to call the game and not try to fill your pockets with money.
Drop your thoughts below. And if you stand with Caitlin, type 100% in the comments. And don't forget, for more breaking WNBA updates, hit subscribe and join us here on WNBA Spark.